Hello everyone! Today I am excited to talk about the spring update to ChatGPT with the release of ChatGPT 4.0, the O for Omni. This update holds extraordinary promises in terms of accessibility. Honestly, I mean it. You'll start to see these changes roll out in the coming weeks, if not months. Right now, the great news is that ChatGPT 4.0, the latest version, is free for everyone. While not all features are deployed yet, this free and accessible version is available to all. We'll explore this free version in detail and discuss what the upcoming paid version will offer. Additionally, we'll take a look at the new application for your computers. Well, here we go. ChatGPT 4.0 is the latest version of ChatGPT, succeeding ChatGPT 4 and 4 Turbo. The new version is much faster and incredibly sharp. It uses less energy, making it more efficient overall. This means not only the response is quicker, but the quality of the answer is also really improved. This improvement alone is great news, but there's much more to discuss. We'll take a broad look at the enhanced accessibility features that comes with this update. What can we, the visually impaired, expect from GPT 4.0? The capabilities are truly wide-ranging. Originally a simple text-based conversational agent, it has evolved into what we call Omni. Omni interpreting texts, images, sounds, and videos. This versatility makes it particularly powerful, and it's already making a difference. For instance, in terms of visual broadcasts and access to video games, a key theme for this channel, the prospects are impressive. The wait is almost over. The official announcement is coming soon, and we'll be able to watch live videos with real-time descriptions provided by the AI. We will soon be able to walk down the street and observe things with AI assistance. Well, I'll return to these points later. Access to entertainment is also becoming more accessible. Imagine playing a card or a board game. The prospects are quite amazing. Imagine. You can put a headset in your ear and the AI will describe the cards in your hand. Just make sure not to show them to others. Beyond gaming, these advancements will enhance our access to video games, culture, entertainment, and overall autonomy. With ongoing process, we'll be able to communicate directly with the machine. For example, if you're in the kitchen, the AI can visually guide you through tasks like finding oven buttons in real time. Instead of taking a picture, waiting like 20 seconds, asking a question, then waiting again for the answer, it will be real-time assistance. And I don't work for OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, but I'm really excited to share this information with you. There are already some amazing developments, so let's dive into the details.
Bon, écoutez, on va entrer dans le vif du sujet. Bien. Ce GPT-4o, tout d'abord dans sa version classique, c'est-à-dire la version accessible à tout le monde. Il faut savoir qu'il vous faut un compte.
First, to access ChatGPT in its classic version, which will be available to everyone, you need to create an account using an email address. Once your account is set up, you'll have access to the free version, which will gradually transition to version 4.0, which is the latest, most powerful, and fastest. However, free users will have a limited number of requests compared to paying users, who get about 5 times more. Currently, paying users can produce around 80 requests every 3 hours, so non-paying users can expect about a fifth of that. It's important to be patient, as it isn't an exact science. We've tested it with a free account, and you do have access to a version 4.0 and can make a considerable number of requests. However, availability can vary by location. For example, someone in the south of France or another European country might not yet have access to it. The rollout is gradual, and we can't really predict when everyone will have access. You'll need to test it yourself. The free version of ChatGPT 4.0 is quite impressive because you can now ask questions and it will search the answers direct on the internet, which wasn't possible before. For example, if there's news published this morning, last night, or even the day before, you can ask a question about it and ChatGPT will search and respond within a few seconds.
Ah, ensuite, on a les analyses de documents.
Next, we have document analysis. Previously, with the free version 3.5, we couldn't provide documents like PDFs, text files, or images including tables. To access these features, the paying version was necessary. Now it's included in the free version. This means you can have an image detailed or provide an Excel spreadsheet or a PDF for summarization or extraction of specific information. It's possible. For example, if you have numerous topics, perhaps not 400, but a substantial number, you can ask for precise information and get an answer. All of this is now accessible in the classic free version. While I haven't personally tested the generation function yet, it's reportedly being deployed. This feature will allow you to generate logos, photos, drawings, manga pages, and more by simply typing a few words or speaking directly to the machine. This is particularly impressive for those with vision difficulties or complete blindness.
d'obtenir ce genre de résultat, y compris quand on a des difficultés de vision, voire qu'on ne voit pas du tout.
As for the memory function, it appears it hasn't been released in Europe yet. Announced as part of GPT 4.0, this feature, especially in the free version, is designated to remember past discussions. You can turn it on or off as you want, and if in a past conversation you mentioned to GPT or another AI with that function that you have a learning disability, it will recognize that as relevant information, remember it, and potentially use it to tailor its responses in future conversations. For example, 6 days later, it might say, I know you have a learning disability, so I have prepared the work to assist you better. These are the basic principles of GPT memory. This memory function is integrated and transparent, offering options to activate or deactivate it, or manually remove specific information to better serve your needs. If you don't like it, you can delete specific memories while keeping others.
Allez, du lourd, voire du très lourd maintenant, Be My Eyes.
An important partnership with Be My Eyes reinforces the impact of the update. During demonstrations of the new update, they showcased a collaboration with Be My Eyes, a well-known smartphone application that uses the camera to take pictures and describe each element in detail. For example, if you have a fruit and you're unsure if it's damaged or fit for consumption, you take a picture and then the app will provide a detailed description. While it's relatively accurate, you might not rely only on the AI's response due to a small margin of error. In one demo, OpenAI showcased a blind man using the new function on the street. This new feature is most likely the best. Real-time conversation with the AI, which can see through your camera in real time. It's not exactly taking a video. It takes images at regular intervals. It's not 30 frames per second, but it might be one photo every second. That's enough, and there is no processing delay in the examples they've shown, which are quite stunning. When you can't see and face various problems in daily life like autonomy issues and also access to culture where you might miss out on cool things, this demo is just like a dream. Imagine a person at a duck pond. They have their smartphone in front of them, pointed at the pond, and ask, for example, are there any ducks? The AI describes that there are several ducks, some pointing their head underwater, etc., and that in real time. The person can talk, react, ask more questions, and request more information. Also, in the demo, the person goes to Buckingham Palace and asks if the flag is flying above the palace, which indicates the royal presence. The AI responds accurately. For example, Imagine someone needs a taxi. They are on the street and they want to hail a taxi. So they ask the AI for help. The AI monitors the street, and when it sees a taxi coming, it tells the person, raise your hand, hail the taxi. It's straightforward and self explanatory. This feature is under development and the release timeline is uncertain. Maybe this year, perhaps in the coming weeks or months. It should be free. However, the resources demands for running this AI is still unknown. I can't say for sure. We'll keep you updated as we learn more. Be My Eyes promises significant advancements, and this is just one application of ChatGPT's vision capabilities. The AI can also look at a computer screen, see what you are doing, and guide you. Another good news for users of the free version of ChatGPT is that custom GPTs will soon be accessible for free. While it's unclear if it includes creating and adding new models to the GPT team's catalog by users, access to existing models made by others will be free. This has been announced and we hope they kept their promise. As someone who creates GPTs, I hope the community can access them as much as possible. Currently, a paid account is required, but that will change in a few weeks, if not days. If you follow this channel and my work, you know that I created a GPT called Manga Narration. It helps the visually impaired by translating and narrating manga page by page. You can interact with the assistant asking for more details about, for example, the character's outfit or requesting less narration but more detailed dialogue. GPTs are specialized agents, and manga narration is designed specially for manga reading and translation, making it accessible to the visually impaired. Another model, Enter Your Favorite Books, allows you to experience fictions from the perspective of any characters and engage in an interactive adventure. You can embody a character and alter the story or word as you wish. You can even send it private work. You send it a book and say, for example, I want to enter this book and live an adventure. You send your writings. If you've written fiction, even if it's not finished, it doesn't matter. So you could say, I want to enter this fiction, I want to embody the character of Michael, and I'd like to explore what would happen if, for example, instead of learning that his parents disappeared, then he learns they are actually being held in prison. There you go. You tell it just like I told you because Chat Agent understands everyday language and it will set up an adventure for you. We won't stay on this much longer, but just to let you know, these features will be accessible for everyone and for free, with the restriction obviously that I mentioned earlier. So,
gratuitement, avec les restrictions dont j'ai parlé précédemment.
before moving on, I forgot to tell you something. I mentioned that it is faster and more efficient, but you should know that the 100% voice mode is currently only available on smartphones. That means you can put your phone on standby and there is no visual interface. You talk with ChatGPT or a specific GPT, it responds to you and you reply back in a very fluid manner. It's not perfect, but it works. Since the last update, they have made significant progress in processing speed. For those accustomed to speaking to a smart speaker like Google Home, Alexa, etc., you know there's a slight response delay. Well, these delays have already been considerably reduced with ChatGPT 4 Omni, but the rest is yet to come, which we will discuss in a moment because we're going to talk about what's coming soon for paying users, and it's incredible. For ChatGPT's subscribers, here's what you will get. It's faster, more efficient, and the voice mode is also more responsive. Since you're paying, you get this improvement of course.
Pour cette partie vocale d'ailleurs, eh bien, ce qui va arriver prochainement, c'est le temps réel. Donc vous pourrez réellement parler en continu avec elle, il y aura
Regarding the
quasiment pas
voice
de délai.
feature,
Alors pour les
what's
chiffres,
coming
ils
next
sont
is real-time
nous avons peut-être
interaction.
vendu
You will be
300
able
millions
to
de
have
secondes,
continuous
le temps de
conversation with
délai
almost
est de
no
quelque chose
delay.
qui est
They proudly
équivalent
announce a
au
300
langage de
millisecond
trompe
response
entre deux
time,
humains.
which is
Bon,
equivalent to
les vidéos
natural conversation
le
between two
montrent, donc
humans.
ça a l'air plutôt
The
réel.
demos
Pas encore
shows
pour le faire
this,
tester, il
so
faudra pas
it
chez nous
seems
sur nos machines.
promising. We haven't
Faut
tested
voir.
it
Mais quand bien
ourselves
même ça serait
yet, but
pas
even if it's
70
not
secondes,
300
700
milliseconds, but
millions
600
une
milliseconds or even
seconde,
1 second,
limite,
it would still
ce
be
serait déjà vraiment
extraordinary.
extraordinaire.
Among the new features, you can
Parlez
interrupt
on
it
peut
while it's
le
speaking.
couper.
You know
On peut lui
how
couper la
with
parole. Vous
smart
savez,
speakers,
qui
if they
parle devant sa
misunderstand
communauté, vous
your
connaissez ça très
request and
bien.
start
Quelque part, il
rumbling,
n'a pas
you need
compris votre
to
requête, il
interrupt
commence
them,
à
but you
blabla,
can't really.
réinterrompre et
This
tout.
is much more
Là, c'est
fluid.
beaucoup plus fluide.
You can
Vous pouvez
interrupt while
interrompre
it's
pendant qu'il
talking.
parle.
It's not
C'est
about
pas,
taking
on parle
turns.
chacun notre
If
tour.
it responds
Et
and you say,
elle te donne un
no, you
exemple. Non, non,
misunderstood
on
my
n'a pas compris la
question,
question, c'était
it
ça.
will
Et
almost
hop, elle
immediately correct
rebondit
itself and continue.
quasi
What
immédiatement.
also we saw in these demos
Ce qu'on a
is
vu
emotion.
également dans les démos,
Yes,
c'est
synthetic
l'émotion. Oui,
voices, the
oui,
voices
les
of
voix
machines, are
synthétiques, les
becoming
voix IA
increasingly
ça devient de plus en
impressive
plus
because
flippant parce que les
progress
progrès
is
sont
very
très rapides.
rapid.
On est habitué aux synthèses vocales quand on est déficient en visuel. Là, les voix, elles sont de qualité quasiment humaine en termes déjà de son. Mais maintenant, l'émotion, la capacité à
We
interpréter,
are
de
used to
traiter une
synthetic
image, d'être
voices when we
beaucoup
are
mieux
visually impaired,
sollicité.
but
En
now these
retour,
voices
elle,
are
ce serait
almost
capable
human like in
de
terms of
mettre
sound
du
quality.
sourire dans sa
Now, the
voix,
ability to interpret your facial
de la,
expression, whether you are in a good mood or if you're smiling.
elle est
In
capable de le faire.
return,
Les
it
démos
can
le font. Alors,
reflect
bien
that
sûr,
by
il y a des
putting a
exceptions,
smile in
c'est
its voice,
des liens
adding drama, and
qui
so
sont comme ça.
on. The demos shows that it is capable of
C'est
this.
vraiment
I will
donné
put the
deux
links in the
sentiments.
description so you can discover
Elle
these for
l'entend, elle
yourself,
interprète le ton de
but
votre
it's
voix,
really a
elle se sent
two-way
ça,
interaction.
et elle
It
va
can
être
now
capable de faire
hear and interpret the
avec
tone
des
of your
gens
voice and
donnés
your
ou pas,
breathing and
ChatGPT
adapt.
doit
For
raconter une histoire,
example, in the demos, we see
bien
someone
le faire.
ask it to
Et
tell a
puis,
story
évidemment,
and the AI
faites-le,
does it.
parfait-le, mais maintenant,
Then
ça
to
viendra,
retell
elle
the
le fait,
story
si vous le
with
faites
a
une
more
fois, ça
dramatic
sera bon,
tone, and it
et puis
does
après,
it too.
ça sera tellement
It's really
automatisé
astonishing. Once again, these are
que
demos.
le
I really
contenu
hope
des
that
jeux
it
en
will be
vidéo,
just like that
audio,
once
etc. vont
released.
être
The
super
potential
intéressants.
for content creators,
Audio
game
notamment,
developers,
ou elle
book
le fait,
writers,
audio
or
notamment
even
en
audiobook
chantant,
creators
elle
is
le fait en
incredible.
direct.
You can ask it to speak like a
Donc,
robot and it will do it.
voilà,
Ask it to
les petits
sing
démos
and so
permettent
on.
de
So
vendre en même temps
these
que vous
little
traitez
demos
ça
are impressive and are
sans
made to inspire,
créer de
really.
voix.
While we are on the topic of
Entendu le
sound,
son,
sound
évidemment, il y a
generation
une
is coming
intégration
to
de son
this
dans
GPT-4 Omni.
dans
You will be
ce
able
GPT
to ask it
Omni,
to
c'est-à-dire
generate
qu'on va lui demander de
sounds.
générer
For
du son.
example,
Il faut
in the
voir,
demo,
et néanmoins,
it
le son
generates the
est plutôt
sound of a coin dropping and
dans les épisodes d'avant, c'est
bouncing
bien
because
connu
it
que
is
sur
shown a
GPT-4,
video
dans chaque
without
vidéo, il y a
sound
5
and
minutes
it
d'intervalle.
creates the sound for
Il te
it.
fait, il te
This
génère
is an
ce son.
additional
C'est
feature that will be
un peu schizophrène,
significant
on va
when
dire, quand
combined
on
with
cumule
everything else
le
that
son ou le
it
reste.
can do. For semi
Quand il y a des
professionals,
bricoleurs,
handyman,
CTO,
and so on,
etc.,
the
ils doivent en fait
API,
l'accumuler
this
avec
little
des spécifications.
computing
C'est comme
bridge, a
un informatique,
small
c'est un
paid
code
code
payant
that
qui
allows you
permet
to
de
connect
rattacher
your GPT to external
GPT
services
à des
or
services
your
externes,
own
d'autres services
external
externes. Eh bien,
services,
tu
has
verras que
seen its cost
il est
halved
multiplié par 2.
and
La
its
vitesse
access
d'accès
speed
est
significantly
probablement
increased.
multipliée.
This is all good
Le nombre
news
de
and
secondes de
is
service est
effective
maintenant
immediately.
c'est acté. Allez, on arrive
All
presque à la
right,
fin
we are
de cette
almost
petite
at
tour
the
d'horizon
end
parce qu'on
of
est quand
this
même il y a
brief
encore beaucoup de choses à
overview
dire.
because
Mais
I can
cette
promise there
mise à
will be
jour
much more
printanière,
to say
eh bien,
about this
par exemple,
spring
au niveau de la
update.
génération d'images,
Well,
dans le version
regarding
payante, on
image
avait déjà accès depuis un
generation
moment
in
à
the
la
paid
génération
version,
d'images.
we've had
Eh
access to
bien,
image
maintenant,
generation
ils ont
for a while
implémenté
now,
ce qu'on appelle la
and
cohérence
they are
d'image.
now
C'est-à-dire,
implementing
vous lui demandez
what
de
is
créer un personnage.
called image
Et vous lui dites une photo.
coherence. This
Je
means
suis
that
poli, bah, reprenez une
if you
photo de
ask
moi
it
ou d'un
to
personnage qui me
create
ressemble,
a
ou faites-moi,
character and show it
faites-moi
a
un personnage
photo
animé,
of
par exemple.
you,
Et vous
or
lui
ask
dites,
it to
bah, fais
create a
une
comic
image
book
d'une de ces
character,
scènes de
for
personnage fait ça.
example,
Et puis,
and
fais-moi
then
une autre image
request an image
avec ce
where
même
the
personnage
character
fait ça.
is doing
Et bien
something
maintenant, il a
specific,
travaillé
and then
à
another image with
reproduire le
the
même
same
personnage.
character doing something
Aujourd'hui,
else.
ça se
It
faisait
will
très
now
mal,
work
c'était
to
très difficile.
reproduce the
Et
same
depuis quelques
character
temps, tu vois, ça faisait un peu
consistently.
la panique.
Previously,
C'était pas
this was
possible.
very
Et là, ils sont en
difficult
train de
and the
travailler sur la
results were
cohérence
not
de l'image,
great,
le personnage
but
ou un objet.
they
Un
are
objet, c'est
working
à
on
dire
image
que ce soit plusieurs
coherence
images.
for characters or even objects that
Et
reappear
là, on
in
arrive déjà,
multiple
déjà, la
images.
vidéo risque d'être quand même
And
sympa
now,
à la fin.
finally, although this video
On va
might
terminer
already be a bit long.
Alors oui, il y a des
We're
fonctions
going to end by talking about
pour
apps.
ordinateur
Yes,
et
there
il
are
vous permettent
desktop
nativement d'avoir accès à ces
applications
fonctions.
coming from
Donc vous pouvez
computers that will
implémenter des fonctions
natively
sur
provide
un autre device
access
hein,
to
sur
all these
votre
functions
ordinateur
in an
et
integrated
forcément
manner. Most
le,
importantly, they will
l'outil
provide
d'informatique
interactions between your
informatique
computer and GPT
ah, on
because
a
it
vu ce
will
que c'était
be
comme forme de
native.
logiciel
I
différent.
will
Donc
explain
l'appli
that.
pour Mac, elle est sortie. Alors,
The
elle est
Windows
difficile d'accès,
version
il faut
does
faire les
not
deux. Quand on
exist
connecte,
yet.
ça marche
It
pas pour
has
tout le monde.
been
Il faut lancer
announced
d'abord sur le
officially
store.
for
Une
the
fois que c'est
coming weeks
déployé,
or
vous pourrez
months,
prendre chez tout le monde.
so
Mais
don't
la version
worry
Windows
and
n'existe pas
be
encore, elle est
patient.
annoncée, elle est officielle. C'est
Now,
pour le
What does the Mac app already do?
voilà, on s'inquiète pas, on peut faire
Well,
en
it
passant.
performs all the
Maintenant,
basic functions
cette
that I
app Mac,
mentioned,
qu'est-ce qu'elle fait déjà?
which
Bon, elle fait
are
toutes
the
les fonctions
free
de base dont je
version
vous ai
if you
parlé.
have a
Ce sont
free
des
account
versions
and
gratuites,
paid
c'est-à-dire
if
version
you are
gratuite
a
payante si
paying
vous
user.
payez.
But
Mais
let's say
donc,
it
elle a
has the
l'avantage d'être
advantage of
directement connectée à
being
votre
directly
PC.
connected to your
Ça veut dire par
PC.
exemple
This
que
means, for example, that you
vous
can
pouvez
now,
dès
or
maintenant, enfin
at
c'est ce
least
qui
those
arrive
who
à
can
l'ouvrir
open
ou
and
l'accès,
accept it, take
vous pouvez
quick
déjà prendre des photos
screenshots
d'écran de
of
manière
your
gratuite
screen
dans
and
votre écran
immediately
et
interact.
il va vous répondre tout de
You
suite,
can
interagir.
call
Et vous
it
pouvez appeler ça
from
depuis
any
n'importe quel écran.
screen
Vous n'avez pas obligé
without
de lancer
launching the
l'interface
app.
clavier. Je sais
There
pas, je vous donne un
is a
exemple. Vous
keyboard
êtes
shortcut. For
sur un
example,
site web,
if you are on
vous
a
êtes malvoyant,
website and visually
vous pouvez faire
impaired,
appuyer
you
sur un
can
petit clavier, on
press
lui dit
a
écoute,
key and
je ne trouve
say,
pas le bouton
I
valider,
can't
je ne trouve
find the
pas le bouton
validate
recherche.
button on this
Hop, bah, tout
page.
de suite, il va vous répondre et
Or,
il va vous dire bah,
where is the search
moi non
field?
plus, je le vois pas, et donc il n'est pas dans cette page.
And it
Ou
will
alors, il y a un
immediately
bouton là à cliquer
respond
dessus,
and
et
guide
vous allez lui
you.
dire bah, je sais pas,
For
moi
example,
mon
it
lecteur
might
d'écran ne le
say,
détecte pas.
I don't see it
Il va lui dire bah,
either, it's
le
not
bouton
on
en bas
this
à droite,
page.
voilà, enfin en gros voilà, vous
Or,
imaginez le
there
type
is a
d'installation.
button there, click
L'idée
on
c'est de
it.
prendre une capture d'écran de
And
n'importe
if you
quel endroit
say, my screen
de
reader
cette fenêtre.
doesn't
Vous direz bon,
detect
ce
it,
clavier c'est
it
relativement
might guide
rapide
you by
et il vous
saying,
répond tout de suite à
it
vos
is
questions.
more
Et ça c'est
toward the
même pas tout,
bottom right.
ces fonctions là elle n'est pas encore
You
déployée mais
get the
bientôt ce sera
idea of the
tenté
type of
à l'idée de permettre aux
interaction.
gens de
The
prendre
idea
une
is
capture
that you
d'écran.
can
En
take
tout
a
cas, vous pouvez
screenshot
l'installer
from
comme ça dans votre
anywhere
PC.
on your
Puis
PC
vous pourrez
using a
activer le
keyboard
mode dans cette
shortcut,
appli. Et puis
and
là, en temps
you'll
réel,
get
vous pourrez lui
immediate
poser des questions sans à chaque
answers.
fois relancer le prompt. Et y
And
compris en
you'll
vocal
get
d'ailleurs.
immediate
C'est-à-dire
answers to
entre
your
votre Mac et votre
questions.
PC. Avec
That's
votre
not
écran du
all,
PC ou bien en
because
vertical
this
sur
feature
les
isn't
oreilles avec un
fully
casque micro
deployed
intégré.
yet, but soon it will be
Bon, bah
in
écoutez,
real
en gros,
time.
on a fait un tour
Instead of
des choses
taking a
qui est loin
screenshot,
d'être exhaustif,
you will
mais
be
je crois que ça
able
vous
to
a déjà
activate a
aidé.
mode in the
Alors,
app,
est-ce
and
que
then you can
tout ce qu'on
ask
dit sur GPT
questions in
aujourd'hui,
real time
c'est
without
accessible
having
avec
to
lecteur
start
d'écran?
the
Eh bien,
prompt each
sur
time, including
ordinateur, moi
voice
je l'ai fait
input
sur PC cette
directly
fois-ci,
from your
mais sur
Mac or
PC,
with your PC's
c'est pas
microphone
totalement. Il y
or
a
a
beaucoup de choses qui sont
headset.
stabilisées, tout ça, mais j'en ai goûté
Overall,
quelques-unes un peu.
we've covered a lot, though it's far from
Pas
exhaustive.
totalement accessible, mais c'est
I
pas
think
grave.
it gives you a good idea of what's
Voilà,
possible.
c'est un peu
So, is
informatif
using
sur
ChatGPT
GPT.
accessible
Comment utiliser
with
ça?
a screen reader
Utile,
today?
utile.
Well,
Allez.
on a
Ensuite,
laptop, there are
la
many
version
unlabeled
smartphone.
buttons.
La version smartphone,
There
elle est
aren't too
très
many,
rare
just
de
one or
trouver
two
avec
pages, so
le
it's not
nombre de
fully
fois à
accessible
avoir
but
100%
entirely
peu sur smartphone tous les
usable.
jours.
We hope they will
C'est
make
très
updates
rare
to
de
improve
trouver vraiment
accessibility, but
accessible de
it's
base
usable
avec
from
GPT.
start to finish.
Ça marche du tonnerre, vraiment.
The smartphone version
Quelle
works
fois
very
on passe
well
une
in
vidéo, moi
terms of
c'est un truc que
accessibility
j'ai
with everything
aimé bien. En
labeled.
fait,
For now,
le
100%
process
voice
quand c'est pas en
interactions
mode
are
conversation,
only
c'est une étape
available on
d'accessibilité.
smartphones and
Je
I
parle dessus,
believe
c'est
on the
bien
Mac
branché, c'est
app.
pas le souci. Mais maintenant, c'est
However,
le bouton envoyer.
on
Une fois que vous
PC
cliquez, vous savez comment SMS,
and
vous savez
web
texte. À côté,
browsers,
le bouton envoyer, on
this
appuie sur envoyer.
feature isn't
Petit
yet
moi qui va
available.
se déplacer.
It works
Bon, bah
great,
évidemment,
but
il y a des
you
effets.
should know that
Premièrement,
as of
le chat de
today,
conversation est
on my
relativement
iPhone,
lent
when I use
et votre relation
GPT,
d'avant.
the
On va pas
send
se mentir.
button
Voilà.
often moves
Ça va pas
around,
tout à fait être
making it
là.
hard to
Ça va être
find.
mieux si on passe par là.
Sometimes the chat scrolls
Mais
all
voilà,
the
donc
way
votre
up,
solution
which
finale
is quite
ne vous fera,
annoying.
à part
It
cette
is still
application Mac qui n'est pas
usable,
accessible,
especially in voice mode, but not perfect. I haven't tested the Mac app or the labeling of buttons, but I hope in Windows
Donc, pour
version
conclure,
it will
ce
be
GPT-4
better.
Omni
I
disponible
mean,
maintenant
excellent.
absolument pour tout le monde,
To
avec des
conclude,
restrictions d'usage
ChatGPT
en
Omni
quantité
is
pour
now
lesquelles
available
pendant
for
les 3 heures
everyone, with usage
d'un certain
restrictions
volume,
on the
si vous
number
devez
of
chiffrer
requests
pour les
every
gens
3
gratuits,
hours.
5 fois plus
It's
cher que
hard to
today.
say
On
the
sait que
exact
les
number
autres
for
fonctions
free
qui sont
users,
déjà
but
disponibles
it's
pour Windows
5 times
beaucoup
higher for
de,
paying
de
users.
ce
All
que
available
ce que vous avez
features are
aujourd'hui. Toutes les
accessible
autres
to
fonctions qui arrivent, elles vont être
everyone.
déployées progressivement. On
All
imagine qu'elles seront
other
d'abord disponibles sur
functions that are
Android
coming will
pour les
be
iPhones, mais
gradually
en termes
deployed,
d'accès à la
likely
culture, aux
first to
jeux,
paying users
au
and then
divertissement,
to others.
puis l'autonomie
In
aussi qui
terms
rentre,
of access to
là déjà
culture,
aujourd'hui ça
games,
apporte beaucoup. Je
entertainment,
sais que beaucoup
and
d'éditeurs
daily
logiciels ne sont
autonomy,
pas emparés
it
parce qu'il y a
already
le côté
offers
payant,
a
mais tout le
lot.
monde ne sait pas qu'on peut l'utiliser sans
I
payer.
know
Il y a
many
le côté
visual
sur PC,
impaired people
je crois
haven't
sur PS4
adopted
même,
it
tout n'est pas la même
due to
finition
the
que
post,
premières fois, on
but
est un peu
not
gêné, on se dit,
everyone
je sais pas trop
knows
quoi y faire.
it can be
Mais
used for free
moi,
on
je suis
laptop.
dans une
Not
démarche plutôt sur la
everything
partage
is
de
labeled,
description visuelle et que
so
on sent que
initially it can
l'image
be
est utilisée
confusing with
comme
unlabeled
camion,
buttons.
camionnette,
However, I
dialogue aussi, des
believe
choses
it
de
will
l'ancienne
become a
question
part
d'IA.
of our
Ah, l'intelligence
lives.
artificielle, donc,
Just
une
like
fois
Be
mise
My
en place,
Eyes,
il faut
which was
réveiller tous les
released
métiers à la
last fall
fois
and
dans le
revolutionized
domaine
our
de
access to
l'assistance
image
afin de
description via
bouleverser, pour être
AI,
notre autonomie.
offering
Là, on est
detailed
vraiment au niveau d'avant. On
responses
a un
and the
second
ability
temps
to
d'IA.
ask follow-up questions.
Il est déjà en cours,
This
et c'est
significantly
le
improved the
meilleur avenir
autonomy.
pour
The
cette année.
next big
Donc,
leap
on va suivre ça
is
de
already
très près.
happening, and the
Eh bien,
best
écoutez,
is yet to
j'espère que
come
vous avez
this
appris des
year.
choses. Et si c'est le cas,
I hope
n'hésitez pas
you've
à me
learned
dire
something
ce que
today.
vous en
If you did,
pensez.
please like,
Je vous
comment,
souhaite
and
une très
subscribe.
bonne
It helps us
continuation
and
de
shows your appreciation for the effort we put into providing informations and testing on this channel. That's all for me now. See you soon. Goodbye.